Mr. Sagna, did you drag in all the stragglers? Okay. Okay, I'm not going to wait for the two stragglers. I'll just call them out individually as they walk in after everybody. Well, Wes is one of them, so it's tough to call him. And Deb. Okay, I'll give him another second. Okay, everybody. Good afternoon, everyone. Just want to state, or first and foremost, I just want to start by welcoming and thanking everybody for joining us on our second semi-annual and final quarterly, all staff meeting of the year. It used to be quarterly, so I get tongue-tied. For those of you who are new to the company in the last 12 months, or I haven't had the pleasure to meet, I'm Steve Midledge, our General Manager for Power Utilities. Hard to believe it's been about a year since I got a chance to stand up here and see all these faces. Some I've known for years, many years, and others are new, but again, all of which contributed to the successful completion of the fiscal year. Pretty obvious, but as you can tell, after a short hiatus, we're back in the theater for a better entertainment experience. Based on the survey results that Deb shared, I'm pretty sure everybody just missed the hot dogs and popcorn, so eat up. Nonetheless, it's a perfect venue for the Special Projects High Voltage Division, who's our host today, to provide us with a great cinematic experience and display of their capabilities in collaboration with the different divisions in the region. That being said, I'm going to pass today's MC reins over to Jason Tangway, Division Manager Special Projects. He's going to go over the agenda for the day. He'll do the safety moment. He's going to steal that highlight from Wes. And then he's going to introduce Jeff Williams, who's going to do our quality moment and quality presentation. You're not going to get to see me as much today. I'll be up near the end again with the regional update, draw prizes, and closing remarks as usual. So that being said, the floor is yours, Jay.
Thanks, Steve. Okay, welcome everyone. For the agenda today, we're going to do an introduction. So my name is Jason Tangway, the Division Manager of the Special Projects High Voltage Group. I'm going to do a safety moment. We're going to do a quality moment by Jeff Williams. We're going to do a health and safety update by Mr. Wesley Pegg. We're going to do human resources, Puma. I'm going to do a presentation on our Special Projects Group. Then we're going to do some regional updates and some closing remarks. So for the safety moment, So all divisions in the SOR group work with electrical energy. Everything we do day to day is dangerous and requires attention to detail. Always make sure making sure you're aware of your surroundings, hazards, exit points, and number of people with you on site is extremely critical. Make sure you're wearing your PPE at all times, identifying live devices and creating barriers, noting live devices in our pre-jobs, using the correct tooling and equipment, experienced and trained staff, outage planning, always being 100% aware of your surroundings, combat complacency by regular training and inspections and attention to small details, and always ensuring others around you are working safely. If you see something, say something. So this is a video taken of a transformer station here in the GTA. I was actually in this transformer station with a few of the guys that work on my crew about a week before this incident happened. So, can you play the video there? There's no sound. Okay, so what happened there was a 230 kV CVT exploded, and my division responded to the call afterwards, and you can see the damage that this caused. That top right photo was the main tank of the CVT, and it crushed a bus station across the street. So this incident happened completely unprovoked and completely unannounced. So when you're inside of a live substation or working on the street or even just in your day-to-day, always be aware of your surroundings. And now I'll pass it over to Jeff.
Already. Well, I've got bad news. It's that time of year again. We need to start preparing for cold weather concrete work. Last year I reached out to several people in various areas to see if there was any previously written procedures, and no one had one, but during the conversations I was surprised at some of the responses, with one guy even stating that implementation of cold weather precautions requires permission from the design engineer. So cold weather precautions are a standard practice of A23.1 and must be implemented by the site team or subcontractors. The responsibility for protecting the concrete lies with those performing the work and does not need engineer's approval. If the concrete freezes before it's cured to around 500 psi, it can lead to several issues, including surface damage, incomplete curing, internal cracking, and compromised compressive strength. So while the test samples that are taken may pass, as they're typically stored in a cooler or curing box, the actual poured concrete could be much weaker. Concrete that freezes can lose up to 50% of its compressive strength. Another consideration is an example from last year where we had an issue where some forms were built. An insulated tarp was placed over the formwork with a heater, and it was left overnight to heat the area in preparation for pouring the next morning. The heat thawed the ground, allowing the formwork to sink almost 2 inches into the ground, and that went unnoticed. And the difference in the elevation required days of rework to fix. So it would be a great idea if everyone involved in concrete work to refresh their knowledge of cold weather concrete requirements and methods. So, our update, what we've been doing for the last year. What's that? Nope, one back. I'm going to go like this every time it needs to switch. Maybe not quite as drastic as that, but. So over the last year, we've been focused on writing and revising the quality program, preparing quality moments like the one I just read, preparing newsletters, quality plans, inspection and test plans, reviewing site records, preparing project teams for customer audits, implementing a site quality inspection checklist. And some of you may be thinking, what do we need a quality program for when we've never needed one before? And that would be a pretty reasonable question. More and more customers are asking contractors and subcontractors to have formal quality programs in place. This is becoming a standard expectation, especially in construction work. The days where verbal promises and informal inspections just aren't enough anymore. Clients want clear proof that quality is being managed properly from the start to finish. And this usually includes written quality plans, dedicated QA/QC staff, and regular site audits throughout the project lifecycle. There's several reasons for this shift. The rework and defects cost time and money would be the main one. Clients are thinking more about long-term performance and sustainability. They want to know their projects will meet the standards, avoid delays, and last over time. Quality programs are no longer seen as just that extra paperwork that we have to do. They're being viewed as a way to reduce risk win more work and build trust. Contractors who have a strong quality systems are more likely to win bids and keep clients happy. And having a solid quality program is becoming a must-have. We are officially rolling out our updated quality program. It's been reviewed now by both our corporate and regional senior management teams. And the full program will be available in Teams on the 4240 SOUR QA/QC folder where anybody can have access to it. And I would encourage everyone involved in project execution to take the time to read through those documents. We'll be holding training sessions to walk through the key parts and answer questions starting in January and finishing before the end of February. So moving forward, all new projects will follow the new program, and existing ones should begin transitioning ASAP. Regular reviews and updates will be part of the process to keep things current and effective. And this rollout will be about making sure we're consistent, reliable, and meeting client expectations every time. I know this is a touchy subject for a lot of people here, but we need to realize that NCRs are good for us. I mean, not a million NCRs, obviously, but NCRs are an important part of our program. It's key to how we manage and improve quality. We use them to document any work that doesn't meet the project requirements, whether it's missed spec compliance, a process error, or a problem with materials, or even documentation. The goal of NCRs is not to assign blame, and that's the important part everyone needs to take away from here today. It's not about putting blame on people. It's to identify what went wrong and understand why it happened so that we can make sure it doesn't happen again. Even small issues can lead to bigger problems if they're not caught early, so it's important to raise NCRs whenever something doesn't line up properly. When we share lessons learned from NCRs, we help other teams avoid making the same mistakes. So to support quality, we've also implemented the site quality observation checklist. The checklist was rolled out a while back, but it's now available for use across all the cell sites. It's a practical tool that helps both senior management and project staff stay aligned on what quality looks like on site. When senior leaders complete the checklist themselves, they stay connected to the day-to-day realities of the project execution. You know, quality is not just a field-level task. I recommend that the project teams complete the checklist first to confirm readiness before the boss comes out. So, to get to that checklist, if you're on a laptop, you go to myecompliance.com, select inspections on the right side, select the green new, select start new inspection. Then in the search bar, you enter the site quality observation checklist and select it from the list that comes up. If you're using a smartphone or a tablet, obviously you open the application, you select forms, select the plus sign at the bottom, and then type the title, Site Quality Observation Checklist, and select that from the checklist, from the list. So quality is not just about meeting today's requirements. It's about building confidence in the work we deliver and ensuring that our projects can stand the test of time. Every person has a role in safeguarding the company's standards and preventing costly rework. By committing to these practices together, we can demonstrate to our clients, our partners, and internally that quality is a shared responsibility and a defining strength of our organization. So let's carry that forward into every project. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. I lied. I wasn't going to get back up until the regional update, but I snuck in on Jay here. I just want to make a comment. We've spent years, if not decades, getting to where we are today in safety, and it's a corporate mandate to do the same thing when it comes to quality. As the jobs get larger and more complex, so do the risks, and QA/QC is going to be one of the key aspects to mitigate those risks. So Jeff has been and will be taking it will be a major part of championing the quality going forward. So Jeff, get used to more presentations and coming up in front of all these people. But thank you again for your presentation. And up next is Old Reliable, Wes Pegg.
Just give me a second to set up. It's awfully loud. Good afternoon, everybody. Hey, thanks for the response. That means everybody's listening. It's quite interesting just looking out over here and seeing all you guys and see the changes in the faces over the years. I see lots of people in the crowd today that I know, and I see lots that I haven't met. So that's a good sign. That's where Black and McDonald is now. I've been working here. I'm in my 24th year now. And every year since I started, it's been growing, and obviously by what we see it's happening now, it isn't going to stop growing. So I've always got some exciting stuff to share as far as health and safety goes, and statistics being one of the most riveting part of any presentation, but it's still something that we need to talk about. But I do have a safety moment. I know Jay had a good one, and that's, when you see that and see how this stuff blows up, I have been in a substation when things have let go, and it does scare the crap out of you for sure. And when I started in the trade, there was no FR clothing. There was none of the stuff that we have in place now when I started working in substations a few years ago. And so it's good that we're protected, but you can see this shit blows up and you'll never know when it's going to happen. So you got to be aware. But my safety moment. Hopefully this works. It's supposed to work. It looks backwards. No, it ain't working. Well, I don't see it. Fuck. What? Honest to God, what the hell is going on? How come every time I get up is when the frickin' thing messes up? Honestly, like. Okay. Okay, hands off. Yeah, push start. Good, now I can sit down for a second. Now the internet's going to cooperate, right? There you go. Good job I don't take this shit personally.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to SFL Sports, where we've got the latest in winter safety highlights.
This past week, we got a mess clash in Colorado with snowy, icy parking lots. Take a look at these players and how they move. Short, slow, flat-footed steps keep them above the competition.
They're focused, and they've got their eyes on the prize. And on the path ahead.
Take a look at that control as John steps down, not out of his car. He keeps his hands on the door frame for stability and firmly plants both feet on the ground, maintaining 3 points of contact at all times.
Just beautiful.
Now this is what I call preparing for the big game. Look at how he's freeing up his hands to give himself more control when he has to face down that ice waiting for him in the parking lot.
Now, who doesn't love seeing an underdog succeed? Take a look at Dana's shoes as she's getting out of the car.
This is a critical miss. Those shoes are not going to provide proper traction.
Temperatures have been fluctuating and a lot of the snow is melted, but it's gotten cold enough that it's refrozen.
But look now how she's sliding her foot across the ground to check for slickness and looking around to check her surroundings.
Now she's changing into winter boots with a thick sole and a non-slip tread. And she's getting her head in the game. What a comeback! He's looking on the home stretch here, but watch out for the crap coming in from the side.
That shortcut could cause a serious injury. But man, what a dodge. Take another look at that masterful escape.
And he couldn't go all the way!
Next, take note of how John skirts around that patch of ice so he doesn't slip.
Now as he makes
sure to take strong defense, steps down, not out on the stairs, makes his way back to the ice. He saw the danger and went to give an assist to his teammates.
That's what I call team play.
He caught up with the two players after the game to hear what they had to say about their stellar performances.
Well, I couldn't do it without my awesome boots, and it ones up at the top and walk from the anywhere.
Just out there walking for my family. I have 2 kids at home, and I just want to win this one for them.
I really didn't think about things, I just focused on myself. At the end of the day, the ice did its job, and I did mine.
You know, some of the stuff in there is a little corny and it's kind of hokey, but honestly, every year we have at least 1 or 2 people falling in parking lots, getting out of their vehicles, getting into a vehicle, slipping and falling. And it can be on the job, it can be at the office, but you know, you're coming in, you've been driving for an hour and a half, your shoes are nice and warm because you've been in your warm vehicle, and you go to get out and there's a patch of ice there and you don't see it. That's the thing, is you don't see that hazard when you're backing in. So we've had some lost time accidents because of workers falling in, excuse me, in parking lots. We had a critical injury down in Windsor last year at Nexstar. Buddy getting out of his pickup truck when he arrived to work went down, he broke his ankle. So, you know, again, something to be aware of, and you know, we talk about it all the time, it happens every year. As long as you leave here and you're thinking about it when you're in the parking lots, then my job is done. Here's the actual safety moment that goes along with that video. You'll be surprised that I don't have it memorized, so I will do what I can to read through it. But you know, parking lots do pose special hazards. Even though you may not be conducting your job in a parking lot, there's still a possibility that you could be injured walking to and from your vehicle. Factors contributing to fall incidents in the parking lot: certainly heavy use by both pedestrians and vehicle traffic. Changing weather conditions, for sure. How to, eliminate and mitigate hazards in parking lots. You know, designated walkways, adequate lighting, salting, sanding. I talked on the supervisor call this morning. There's some great new ice melt that, as we know, salt doesn't work that great when it gets really cold, but there's some great ice melt products. You know, minus 20, they're melting the ice and making it safe. So I just bought some of it actually at Crappy Tire the other night. It's great stuff, right? Parking lots, driveways, laneways, and sidewalks should always be included during a monthly workplace inspection. We have a project, you got to maintain those walkways, not only for your workers, but visitors, delivery guys, all that stuff. You got to keep them in mind when you're maintaining the areas. So our responsibilities, you know, safety is everybody's duty, so workers, as much as employers, should be aware of your surroundings, continuously scan the area to watch for cars as well as fall hazards. Never assume a driver will see you. Clean and report spills right away. Clear clutter and debris if possible. Wear appropriate footwear for the situation. Report hazardous conditions to supervisor and remain vigilant, and remember that falls can happen anywhere, anytime. So, not rocket science, that's for sure. So statistics, Southern Ontario Utility proper for the fiscal year, we're almost 1.2 million man hours. We didn't have any lost time accidents, which is great, but we did have 10 recordable events and 19 first aids. Our total recordable incident rate in the region came in at 1.70, and our target is 1 and below 1 to get our injury rate down. And the total incident rate, that includes the first aids, and we came in at 4.94. Bottom line is, you see these numbers, 29 of our colleagues were injured, right? So that's what we want to keep in mind. Our good friends at Intera, they had not a bad year as far as hours go as well. I was quite surprised when I was putting this report together that they are over 800,000 man hours this year. Certainly a lot of activity for them. They've had 4 recordable incidents and only 2 first aids, so good for them. And you see their total recordable incident is under 1. So They are part of Black McDonald, but they are a separate group, and it's something for us to show them that we can do better. And when I combine everybody together, perfect, over 2 million man-hours. Man, that's a lot of work for this group. I'm trying to remember when we hit 2 million man-hours within the utility region, and it's I can't say if we ever did, so good for you. It shows a lot of activity, like I said at the beginning, lots of new people. The company continues to grow, lots of work for everybody. So we got to put in lots of extra effort to make sure that we, do our plan our work our plan, and make sure that we reduce these events that keep occurring. So when we combine everybody together, we've had 14 recordable incidents and 21 first aids. So the total incident rate below 4 is great, but again, the recordable events are over 1, and those are the ones that require medical treatment or they can't work their regular duties. So that's the focus for that. Excuse me. So, but what I really wanted to talk to you about today is this energy-based safety. This is the program we've introduced it. Supervisors have been required to do online training for it. And what I'm presenting today, this is kind of for everybody and gives you a little bit more of an overview and some more details of what the program is about. So, the energy wheel and hazard recognition, the high-risk hazards, sticky hazards, and direct controls. So this quote is from Dr. Matthew Hallowell. And identifying hazards is a critical component of any safety program. And based on natural limitations, even the most experienced construction professionals will identify only 45% of the hazards in each site. So the energy wheel, so hazard recognition blind spots are biologically consistent and predictable, and they're regardless of trade, experience, or education. And the energy wheel is effective because it provides a simple set of reminders to search for hazards that are commonly overlooked. Field experiments showed that using the energy wheel improves hazard recognition by over 30%. So, my fingers just stopped working. Okay. So this is about recognition. So have a look at this sentence. I want everybody to count the F's. Don't say it out loud. Whoever's finished, give me a nod so I can move on to the next. Okay, we got it? Again, don't share your number yet. So, prompts. If I showed you this before I asked you to do it, you'll probably find all of them really quick. So, first, we tend to skip them in short words like of. So look at these words carefully. There is no reason to read the entire sentence when somebody's just asked you to look for the F's. Scanning through a sentence backwards may also assist. So now when I put this up, now you'll spot all the F's instantly, right? So, did everybody get 6? 7, smart guy over here, because on this one, yeah. Nice one. Nice to see everybody is so good at recognizing trouble ahead, so that's perfect. So the energy wheel should be easy for you, and it should be a great exercise for you to improve your own safety on the job. So here's a work site. There's the energy wheel down the bottom. You see what's happening here. Got a packer, a backhoe, a couple of guys walking, a guy directing traffic. So when we look at the energy wheel and look for prompts and look for the extra hazards that we are in here, sun exposure for radiation, chemical, the hydraulic fluid that's in the backhoe, the mechanical equipment itself. Looking at the grass, we got biological hazards. Could have been just recently sprayed. There's allergens there. Just the motion of walking and the motion of vehicular traffic. The temperature, right, for the equipment. Gravity getting in and out of that packer. The sound and noise exposure from the thing. Just a quick look, though, at Buddy running the stops sign there. Is he in the right position for what he's doing? No. Where should he be? He should be looking at the camera if he's directing traffic from the road coming towards him, right? So, good, I'm glad you caught that. This thing gonna quit. There you go. So the next one, have a quick look at this scenario. There seems to be 4 guys here ready to go. Okay? Now, thinking of the energy wheel, we have motion for the load. You've got 2 guys holding tag lines, so you got mechanical tension from the ropes and rigging. You got the gravity of the suspended load. And you got sound exposure. Obviously, it's a loud environment because they're all wearing muffs. Anything else in that picture bother anybody? If I can use this fancy laser. I don't know if you can see that. Buddy here is off to the side. Don't see what his part is to play. The guy on the right. You've got 3 guys there. Looks they're directly involved. You have a 4th off to the side. Also, the other issue that I have with this activity, you got 2 guys on the tag line, and the one guy on the tag line closest to the picture, he's also signaling, right? You got enough guys to do the job, you assign somebody to the task, and that makes it a lot safer. Let the guys tagging the load concentrate on tagging the load and let somebody else do the signaling. So that's my own thoughts anyway. This is a deep excavation, isn't it? Now, believe me, I got all these pictures are from marketing, by the way. I'm not sure if they all got vetted correctly, but they came from the marketing group. Okay, so you've had a look at that. So, what do we see here? We've got gravity, obviously, from the ladder and dropped objects. The wood dust, because if you can see in that picture, he's cutting that wood. So he's trying to move that timber over, would be my guess. The unprotected edges, that's a real, where the star is here, the unprotected edges, there's nothing there. It's just straight down cut dirt, you can see it. Electrical cables. Should he be in there? I heard some no's. That's what I'd like to, based on what I'm seeing in this picture, the answer is definitely no. Exactly. He's got shoring on one spot, right, in front of the ladder, seemingly behind, but on the right hand, on his left-hand side where he's cutting that big timber, on the left it's just straight down dirt. So it's not a safe excavation, right? Stuff we encounter all the time, right? We move through a job, we get started. He's down there and notices it. What's the best thing he could do? Stop and get out of there and say, let's have a look, guys, and let's redo this, right? That's really what all this stuff's about. Here's an easy one. Lots of equipment in the area. Now that you've seen all these, you should be able to pick these hazards out real quick. So, overhead line's always the one to get, but you think it's out of the way, but it's still there. It's still a hazard in the area. Something happens to one of these poles, it gets undermined, right? You got the equipment failure. Air temperature, obviously, it's a cold day. Cold and wet. You see the ground's all wet around there. The motion of the equipment, hydraulic fluid, sound exposure using that jumping jack, Operators being aware of those around them. You've got that skid steer buzzing around. You've got that Mini X and that other one behind. And the gentleman with his back to everybody running his compactor, right? So have a look at this one. Moving a pole. Just a couple of guys. There we go. So you got radiation from the sun exposure, mechanical equipment failure, obviously gravity down, the motion of the equipment, biological at the back. This is at railside, so I dare say there's lots of hazards at the back in that bush behind there. I'm not ready to talk about all those. Obviously, the suspended load. Not ideal for our friend who's got his hand on that pole to be that close to it if something goes wrong, right? Tagline is a better way to be moving stuff like that. Get the pole balanced so it's an easier move. Get a tag line, get away from it, right? It's easier to control when you're tagging something with two guys, of course. But again, we don't need to hold on to this stuff, because if something screws up, whether the operator makes a mistake or something fails, that's coming down and he's right in the contact zone there, right? Here's another operation with an RBD. Fence in between. So, do we think about mechanical failure when we're working with this stuff? We should. That's why we don't get underneath the boom, right? Don't get between the boom and the load. We've got 4 workers on one side of the fence. We have one on the near side with the pole by himself holding a loose tag line. I'd like to see another, when you're tagging stuff as 2 people, right? And when you're tagging something like that, you're both pulling. So then it's much easier and better way to control the line. The gentleman got his bin open in the truck. He's got his back to the work area, which is not ideal. And again, we've got 4 guys on one side of the fence and only one on the other with the pole. A better setup would be he should have a partner helping him out. But if you look at the bottom of where he's standing, this thing's freaking useless, right there. See how close he is to that little ledge? That's something you take your mind on off of what you're doing. You just step back as that pole's being raised, and now you've got a guy falling with an uncontrolled load, right? So, and are these criticisms that I'm making? Not particularly. What it is observations. It's getting you to think about the stuff that you're doing. Take those extra looks, right? Don't just keep moving along at a fast pace. Do all your movements measured and make sure that they're all controlled and identified. So, when we talk about the energy wheel, again, workers identify only about 45% of the hazards they face. Hazard recognition blind spots are consistent and predictable, regardless of trade and experience or education. And hazards that are easily identifiable, gravity and motion, are recognized instinctually and require comparatively low cognitive efforts. But hazards that are most often missed, mechanical, pressure, chemical, relatively high cognitive effort. Field experiments showed that using the energy wheel improves hazard recognition by 30%. That's a good boost, and it will certainly help make for a safer environment. And the energy wheel is effective because it provides a simple set of reminders that are commonly overlooked. And science suggests that some hazards are overlooked because of blind spots that affect us all. In other words, what we once thought as complacency may be actually a predictable biological limitation. So, in high energy, all injuries are a result of some undesirable contact with energy. The amount of physical energy predicts the most likely severity. High energy equals high severity. Energy releases of 1,500 joules or greater are most likely to result in significant injuries or fatalities. The icons shown are representative scenarios which almost always produce high energy and are more likely to result in a serious injury or fatality. We call these situations high energy or sticky, the stuff that kills you. Oh, that was cool. That's, yeah. No, thanks. I don't know what happened there. Gadgets and me just don't get along. There we are. So, these sticky icons, the stuff that kills you. I see something blanked out there, the shit that kills you. These are all, again, it's things to spur thoughts, right? You look at these and they make you think. Look at the arc flash, the electrical, greater than 50 volts, gravity, pressure, the temperature, all that good stuff. It's just, again, to make you think. That's what checklists are all about. Because not everybody knows everything, right? So checklists do make you think about the stuff that you're going to be working on. So controls, after the hazards have been identified, we must know the different options we have to add layers of protection. All identified hazards must have safeguards applied to them to protect from harm or damage. All sticky hazards must have direct controls applied to the target energy source. So a safeguard is a measure taken to protect someone or something from harm or damage, or to prevent something undesirable. Safeguards can include direct controls. A direct control that specifically targets an energy source when installed, verified, and used correctly will mitigate exposure and must effective even when people make mistakes. Now, for me, what's the best example of a direct control? A seatbelt. Right? We didn't have seatbelts in vehicles for years. They put seatbelts in because they know people are going to get in accidents, right? So seatbelt, when worn, definitely protects you. So then what did they ramp up? Because people were still getting in accidents, still getting injured. They added airbags, right? Airbags installed, you in your vehicle properly, wearing your seatbelt, you get in a crash, it's going to mitigate and reduce the chance for harm. Because they know. Shit, we drive every day. One of the guys, when he was coming here, he said there was an accident on the Don Valley, for kind of a daily activity. So they know people are going to screw up. They know accident's going to happen. But putting these direct controls in, they know will reduce us from harm. So to qualify as a direct control, it must meet all three criteria. It has to be targeted at the high energy source, effectively mitigates exposure to the high energy source when installed and used correctly, and effective even if there is an unintentional human error. Okay? I like this quote. Safety is not an absence of accidents. Safety is a presence of defenses. That's pretty, that's really exactly what it is. So, as a summary, the energy wheel, did I hear a phone going there? Like, mute the phones, would you? The energy wheel improves overall hazard recognition. That's what it's all about, right? The high energy icons focus on hazards with high energy, the ones that are most likely to cause serious injury or fatality. We implement these direct controls for each high hazard and plug the holes in our defenses, right? Did it go again? Holy you guys, is that like somebody putting the hook on to pull you off the stage or what? I get the hint. One more sentence, okay? We focus learning opportunities around high hazard, right? SIF direct controls, including the vast quantity of potential incidents. There. Thank you. And if you see something, say something.
Thanks, Wes. Just to add on to the safety piece, complacency is something that I stress in my group all the time when we have our weekly calls. I know when I was coming up in the trade, even only 15, 20 years ago, we didn't have PPE like what you guys have now, and becoming complacent and because you're doing the same thing over and over every day. I don't need to wear my gloves, I don't need to wear my safety glasses. That's the day that you're gonna get hurt. So please take that home. Now to introduce Shahara, our Director of HR, for your HR report.
Everyone can see me, right? Haha, get it? Can we move? Where? What am I doing? Okay, so our HR team, I think most of us know who Umar is, so say hello. And there's clap, go ahead. Thank you. And then we have our new addition, Charlotte Main, if you want to say hello. As we grow, I think we've heard a lot about growing and growing in employees and growing in projects we're doing, bringing on human resources specialists to help with the human aspect of Black & McDonald is very important to be able to keep up with the growth that we're obviously already experiencing, and from what I can see, what is coming ahead of us. So we have Susie Shimko, if you know that name, she's our recruitment specialist as well, who does a lot of work with all of your managers, and Nancy Wong on the electrical and mechanical ICI side. So that makes our team. And then Shahara, that's me, the director of HR for this group. Okay, so anyone knows what this is? Pop quiz. I'm the HR person, so I'm going to be interactive. Anyone knows what we're looking at? Please tell me someone does. No? Okay. So this is our engagement survey. Everyone remember doing this? Last April, May, yes? Okay. So these are company-wide results. You're going to ask me, probably thinking, why we're talking about this in November when we did the survey back in April. Well, I'll tell you why. Because it takes 3 months to get the data, and then it takes probably the same to read the data, understand the data, and start thinking about what we do in terms of the results. So these results are very good. So congratulations to everyone. We are continuously moving the needle forward, which is great. You will see there's not a massive differential between the last survey and this, which is also great. But we also have room to improve, right? As in every survey. And so if you look at the bottom, it's yellow, not red, so that's a good thing. That is department collaboration. So that area for the entire company, coast to coast, is an issue of areas that we need to focus on. The survey is very general, so the questions we ask on the survey are pretty much kind of like, do we feel our departments are collaborating? That question is very big. So it's kind of our role now to figure out what you mean by we're not doing too swell, right? So 57%, not a bad number, but still needs some focus. So what does that mean? I'm sure if we spent the rest of the afternoon talking about that, everyone will have really cool opinions. And so we want to start talking about that with our trades, with our salaried, with our hourly professionals to figure out what we can do to get that number to go up, because it stayed there pretty much for the last 2 or 3 years. So what that means is we'll be doing some focus groups with representatives from different divisions, both on the salaried side and the trade side, to understand what we can do to collaborate better. But if you look at the different categories there, employee empowerment, co-worker relationships, company potential, these are all really good results. So congratulations to everybody. We're obviously going to keep focusing on what we can do to move forward, but these are really our strategic priorities. So these areas form what HR spends a lot of time focusing on, talking about, coming out to different sites, understanding the reality of the field, because that is a different area than obviously office and support staff, and that's what 2026 is going to be built on. For us anyway as a team, to really understand the differences between the groups. Any questions? So this is Sauer specifically, so that was Black & McDonald as a company. Again, if I wish I can kind of compare the numbers. If you look at your area and Black & McDonald as a whole, again, very comparable, and you'll see that yellow area at the bottom, same area. So that's what we mean about company-wide. It seems to be an area of development that we all need. Okay? You would think we would get some points for doing this, because this is department collaboration, but it's not moving that enough, so we got to figure out what else we can do to move that 57%. So this is a lot of words. I'm not going to go through all of it, but when you look at these month over month, you kind of memorize them. So when you're looking at the action plan, you will see a lot of commitment to one company, endless opportunities. That is our tagline, so to speak. So when Black & McDonald goes out to try and find the next generation of leaders, to find estimators, to find and attract trades folks, this is what we want to make sure we continuously focus on, which is we're one company at the end of the day. Sauer, Summer, SOFAD, whatever the divisions are, we're Black & McDonald. And we want to make sure we focus on how are we going to get talent in the company, how we're going to keep the talent, how we're going to keep our trades, continuously bringing on individuals into the trades, because that's another challenge going on in the marketplace. How do we attract high school students to go into the trades? There's a lot of emphasis on that, even from the government, in terms of programs they've opened up. How does Black & McDonald tap into those programs? So there's a lot of kind of parallel work going on in terms of making sure that we are ready for that next chapter in the organization. And then you can see communication, that word collaboration again, career advancement, and action planning. You can read that if you want. If not, it's okay. I'll summarize all of that. What that means is these are the four areas that make up the experience of whether you're new employees or existing employees. So there's a lot of focus on career advancement. How do we get those who are developing through the trades into different managerial positions, if that's what they wish? How do we keep people who are already in jobs still working for Black & McDonald? And how do we make sure we're developing the next generation of leaders? Because as the company grows, you're going to need a lot more support into all these different areas. A lot of HR words, I know. Should we do a pop quiz? See if this side can beat this side of the room? No? Okay. We'll keep going. First up, who knows about this? At least put your hands up if you heard about it. Okay, not bad. So at the last biannual meeting, I think there was a guest speaker, and the guest speaker asked, how many of us in the room have been impacted by mental health? Directly or indirectly? And literally the whole room stood up. This program is Black & McDonald's first step, okay, towards committing to understanding mental health and educating our leaders and educating the organization as a whole as to how to respond to individuals who are going through mental health challenges. So this is a narrative, it's a program that was built by Michael Landsberg. He was a sports broadcaster who's a friend of the McDonald's family, and he has gone around the country promoting and highlighting the importance of these initiatives. This is on Litmus, not probably the best venue for putting training in terms of mental health, but it's the only system we have to be able to get this out to all of our employees. We're going to try and get this out to the trades in a different format in 2026, not through Litmus, but we're going to try and maybe bring some of the content to you in person. But it is important if you have, I think 3 modules are 15 minutes to do 3, and the next 3 are another 15 minutes. It goes through talking about how to deal with mental health personally, if you're going through it. How do we as managers react and support our employees when and if they come to us with mental health challenges. I just did the training. It took a week to do a couple of modules here and there, and it really does change your perspective as to how we manage this going forward. So if you have some time, we encourage you guys to do this, but in terms of the trades, we will be coming out in a more creative way rather than putting it on Litmus, because it's harder for you guys to access. Okay? Okay, well, that's my part. I'm going to turn it over to Huma to talk about another important just reminder, and then we'll get into some fun stuff.
Thanks. Hey guys, gonna try to make it sweet and short. For most of you guys don't know, well, you know me. Every semi-annually, but prior to that was quarterly meeting that we talked about. Since this program has been launched, what we've been doing is just putting it up there. So today what I wanted to talk about is the reason I highlighted most of the stuff just to kind of give everybody an idea where to access this. It's on our Litmus, it's on our Wire, it's on Bamboo. I have it, reach out to me or Charlotte or any of the HR team members. I cannot stress how important this is. What happened in 2023, we want to make sure that we're secure and safe. So going to this link, If you have Litmus access, which everyone should have, and if you don't, please reach out to us or the health and safety team, and we'll be happy to provide you access. You can access these links. So you can go from Litmus, access the links. It's usually on the front page on the left-hand side. If you are not sure where that is, you can go into the Wire and access it as well. You can go into Bamboo as well. Click on it. There are about 6 modules. Really important, it shows you, there are about 6 modules. They show you how to protect yourself, not just because you work with us or you work for a company, but on your private life as well. We use technology for day-to-day basis. How do we keep safe? How do we stay away from all the phishing? How do we stay away from all the scam emails that comes in? It's really important. So I encourage every single person in here, if you have access to it, please go on to it. There's 6 modules, does not take that long. And if you're running into any issues, help is here. Please reach out to us. We're a phone call away, and we'll be able to assist you with this. A few notes that I want to make. There's 6 modules, so every 3 months a new module shows up. So we encourage everybody to get on it right away, but we understand that people can be very busy, or sometimes it can be difficult to navigate through Terra Nova. So if you're having difficulty, reach out to even the training and development team from corporate. They're willing to assist as well. We want to make sure that our rating goes up. We are very close, but we're still not hitting 100%. That means there's still phishing emails that goes out from corporate, usually from HR's name. Please don't click on them. I usually get people reaching out to me, was I supposed to click on this? No. Oh, I already did. So why are you reaching out to me then? Try not to click on it, and as soon as you see it, even if you're not 100% sure, report it to phishing. And these modules can help you identify those. So again, cannot stress this enough. Please try to look into your Terra Nova activity to see if you have completed everything. What we're going to be doing effective this week, so Friday there's going to be an email going out. We're going to encourage you guys, reach out to you individually if you need to, with help of our operations team, to make sure everybody gets the link and there's an easy way to access it. Any questions on this? Thanks, Jill. All right, great. Moving forward, new employees. So what I would like to do is request all the new employees to stand up, please. Come on, guys. I'm not that boring. Everybody stand up, all the new employees. Charlotte. New employees. Thank you very much. Welcome to Black & McDonald family. We're happy to have you, and we're looking forward to working with you. You're new. If you have any questions, please look on your right and left. There's always going to be somebody there to assist you and help you. So welcome once again to Black & McDonald family. Charlotte, if you could help me, what we're going to do now is we're going to recognize some service awards. We have a lot of employees with us, all of you guys that have been here for so long. So we're going to start off with year 5. Call out the names. What I would like to do, if you're here, please walk up because we would like to take a picture. It'll be good. So we're going to start off with year 5 and then just go down, go up. My apologies if I butcher any names. If I can have Afra as well up here, please. Right. Ooh, okay, I just pulled a S. So Ken Bayless for 5 years. Hey, don't want to come up? No problem. Martha Basilio? Martha? Yay! Jordan Avey? Christopher McMurdo? Martin Flores? Jonathan Robotilli. Cameron, I'm just gonna go with first names. Cameron? Oh. Scott? I'm assuming Cameron's not here, Scott's not gonna be here. Adriano? Lissy? Sean Fonseca? Brendan Donnelly? Eddie Mirren?
Eddie better be here.
Adam Graham? Andre Antunes? Michael Renz? Rachel Lee? Huh? 5 years?
We are 100% cross-referencing the sign-in list with timesheets today. There's a lot of people missing here.
Thank you very much, guys. Congratulations for the 5 years. I'm going to take a quick picture. Great. Thank you. Thank you very much, guys. We're going to move up to year 10. Michael? I'm going to go last. Oh, okay. Evan? Joshua? Mark? Dimitrasco? And Michael O'Neill. Congratulations to all the guys for 10 years. Just a quick picture, please. I'm going to take a lot of pictures. Hey. Thank you. Moving to 15 years. Brandon Smith. Anthony McKay. Alicia Turner. And Anthony Glasgow. Congratulations to all the guys in 15 years. Quick pictures. Thank you very much. Congratulations, Anthony. That's okay. Moving to 20 years, Christian Pilgrim. Hey, he's not here. I will give him a call after. And 35 years, Daryl Mooey. And Daryl's not here. No problem.
He deserves a day off after 35 years.
Definitely. Thank you very much, guys. Those were the highlights for HR. Hopefully we get to see you guys again. Try to make it up to this. These are extremely important. This is probably the only time that we get to see everyone. And HR gets really excited to see all of you guys. I'm going to pass it back to Steve.
I'm only taking it so I can do a quick intro. I don't want Jay to have to introduce himself. So thank you again, Huma. HR update was great as usual. I actually had this note from last year about the IT or cybersecurity training, so clearly we're still lacking, so please actually get that done, or maybe we'll start cutting off access one day. Outside of that, thank you ladies for your presentation. Up next, we've got the presentation by Special Projects High Voltage. Jason Tagway is going to get up here and get us started. They're going to highlight some of the projects that they've done over the last year and in collaboration with some of the other divisions. Thank you.
We're all going to Rio. All right, again, hi everyone. My name is Jay Tangway. I'm the division manager of the Special Projects Group. Welcome to today. We've got a pretty good presentation to share here. It's kind of funny that Shahara mentions about poor collaboration in the employee survey, because my whole presentation I talk about how we've been very collaborative. So this is a photo here of a 115 kV substation that my group led this summer at the top of Niagara Falls there. So this station was a brand new station to be built in a very tight timeline. The station you see on the right was live the whole time while we were building it. And my group did the station component of itself, and we had the overhead line division come in and do the 115 rework. And we had the technical services group commission the station, and also the engineering group design and build some relay protection panels. So this awesome picture here just kind of highlights some of the collaboration that's happened between the between a lot of the divisions in our region. So again, introductions. Myself, Mike Pope, our operations manager, Trevor Ellis, our senior project manager, and he's also our lead estimator, tagged on with me. Within the group, we have about 45 people. We have 3 coordinators, 5 key foreperson that leads our jobs in the field, and over 40 trade staff, and that goes. Those 40 trade staff people are kind of homegrown Black McDonald people, and sometimes we pull from the local union halls as needed. That photo over there is a picture of the Lozon TS that was just completed with a lot of the team members. So we did an introduction. We're going to talk, Mike's going to come down and talk about our commitment to health and safety and our scheduling. And then we're going to do some environmental initiatives. This is not the right one, but this is not the right agenda. What? Okay, skip. Okay. Anyway, we'll work our way through it. So the commitment to health and safety, Mike is going to come down. Oh, Mike's right behind me. And he will talk about this for a couple slides.
Perfect. Thanks. Okay, hey everyone. So yeah, this is a bit of a loaded, we've put a lot of work into our safety initiatives. We've come down to, it's basically 3 things. It's communication, it's planning, and it's experience. So a lot of our, incidents that have happened, it's one of those 3 variables. So what we did is we put a bigger emphasis on communication. So now, we do 6 meetings for monthly safety purposes and our processes. So we start off with our monthly supervisor meeting with Sauer, the one that Wes hosts, and all our supervisors are on that. And then they report back to the field staff. We also went a step above and now do a monthly foreman meeting. So it's kind of turned into a bit of a round table type of meeting where, you know, foremans can bring up ideas, they can, you know, update the team on their projects, and also come up with safety incidents and near misses, and you know, rely on each other to lean on and for experience, and just kind of create that more of a, you know, well-versed and open dialogue in terms of safety. Because before it was, you know, we tried our best, but you know, we found that there were some improvements that could be made. So once we initiated that, we saw a difference immediately. We also do weekly safety meetings with our field crews. So every Monday morning, we got 52 safety talks. So every Monday morning, each crew will go over that rule, discuss it via their tailboard, and they'll get more, you know, talking at front of their crews there. We also do frequent safety resets. Jay champions that on every call. If there's any major incident or a near miss or an injury, we review it internally. We also try to find the root cause and try to use it as a teachable moment for a lot of our apprentices, our junior, and also our supervisors. So our worker safety training, it's got revamped pretty good lately. Me and Kirsty, who's our senior office staff, me and her work pretty closely to ensure everyone's got the proper training. So that's how that ties in with the experience side of it, trying to get everyone up to snuff. So a lot of the utilities we work with, like Toronto Hydro, Electra, you know, any major utility, they have certain standards of trainings you need, like EUSR, you know, working at heights, high voltage training, and it's a vast array, and try to fit it in amongst our busy schedule. It takes a lot of work. So I'll get into that here shortly. So the weekly scheduling meeting with other divisions, that's kind of the sixth one. It plays into the collaboration. We've worked pretty good alongside with 4205, which is Arjun's and Ryan's group, 4201 with Taryn and Christian there, and 4203 with Jim. We meet weekly to go over kind of opportunities or gaps that are missing with our manpower. So that helps out with, you know, basically having the right manpower, the workforce, and the right labor on a job, so we're not shorthanded, and that's where mistakes can happen. So this is probably our most important tool, I think, within our division, especially for keeping everyone organized and understanding where they're going. So this is Microsoft Teams. I think most of you guys you do use it. Pardon me, I'm a little nervous talking in front of all you guys, so bear with me. So each job has the job number, site address, and time. So our group, again, like Jay said, it's about 40 people, so they can be anywhere between 6 to 12 different projects without any given week. So in order to build this schedule, there's a lot of background work that goes into it. I think it's worked well for us this year. We've done, you know, pretty good on terms of the executing side and keeping guys and well organized and understanding where they're going. So if you can go to the next one here. So we've teamed up with scheduling. Our scheduling guru, Jarvin, showed us how this Microsoft project program works. So what we've created it's a full year scope of all of our projects. So what we've used this tool as is basically a responsibility matrix, right? So you can see which PM is responsible for which project coordinator is also on which project, and right down to the foreman. So it helps give, you know, Jay and I a 35,000 foot view of where the guys are going to be, where the overlap is, and kind of help, you know, play into that forecasting and who's responsible for what project that's going up. So that's one piece. It just gives us that oversight on how we look for key dates, critical path items, and certain deliverables that we need and where to place them. And then the next one, who's got the clicker? Oh, you. And this is the final tool. So this is our forecasting. So Jay and Trevor and some of the project team, we meet monthly to go over manpower loading and what we need, you know, internally. So as you can see, the construction season has ebbs and flows, right? You got the start of the year where it's, it's a little slow, and then in the spring when site mobilizes, and then it kind of veers down, and then our summer season, and then it peaks in Q3, slows down in Q3 and Q4. This kind of gives us a blueprint of where we're going to need extra manpower, and they're rough numbers on crew sizes and projects that we're all taking on. This is just a snippet from earlier in the year, and it helps us discuss what needs we need from other divisions, like our line division, civil, even some ICI, and field services and engineering. So this kind of helps build that Microsoft Teams app. I know a lot of guys don't see behind the curtain and what goes into it, but yeah, we're quite proud on the effort we put in to make sure everything's organized. And it's not perfect. We're constantly tweaking it every day, and yeah, it's worked for us. So go to the next one. So yeah, leading into collaboration. I'll pass it back to Jay.
Thanks. Do you want to do that? Thanks, Mike. Just to add on the health and safety side of things, so special projects this year had zeros across the board, so that's a great job to the guys that are here. I know most of the division is here. We worked over approximately 90,000 people hours this year, so that was a huge accomplishment. So we really do promote a collaborative effort within the Power Utilities Group and across the Southern Ontario region, working with transportation and Joe's group. For 209, we will generally act as the GC on projects pulling in under other divisions for specialty scopes. 4209 supports projects in the electrical mechanical side, so we've done some projects at UTM this year, the Microsoft Data Center, and some wastewater sites. We have a really strong track record with utility scale work, local LDCs, developers, and private sector clients. The picture that's shown there is a 25 megawatt battery storage project that we did in what's called an engineer, procure, construct model. So we did all the engineering, we did all the procurement, and we did the construction. We were boots on the ground there for about 3 months. So this is a video of the Lozon TS in Windsor. It's a time-lapse video, so if you could just play the video, and I'll just kind of chat as the video goes. It's about 2.5 minutes, so I don't know if you can play it from there. Maybe, I think Deb's gonna. Okay, so this project is in Windsor. It was project managed by Rob Palauta. The scope was to add a brand new 28 kV switch yard. We came across a lot of challenges on this project. We found abandoned cables in the ground, which really held us up. Nobody knew where those abandoned cables were, so we had to do a lot of investigating, a lot of hydrovacing to find either end so we could remove them. We also were given a pretty lousy design upon mobilization. I would say at best it was a 60% design, so we really had to push Hydro One to get the design to where it needed to be so we could continue building. We had horrible winter working conditions. Everyone remembers last winter. It was cold every day. We had snow every day. We also had extremely tight access. So Hydro One was working all around us, so they were constantly keeping their eyes on us and watching us what we were doing and complaining and whining. The live station component, so everything around us was also live, so there was a lot of health and safety that went into this. And ultimately, the project was due to be substantially completed this year, and we made it, and Hydro One was actually extremely happy with the work. Again, collaborative effort between my division, substations, Arjun's group, And that building that was installed there was actually the very first protection and control building that Black & McDonald had fully designed and engineered and installed for Hydro One. So basically at this point, we're just working our way out and cleaning up the site. And there's the team. Go ahead, next slide. So here's some other pretty cool projects we've done recently. We do projects of all different size, all different types of complexity. So turnkey engineering, procurement, and construction projects, like I said, the EPC model. We self-perform pretty much all of our own work. And again, delivering to the utilities, LDCs, private sector clients. The photo up in the top left is us removing a 100 MVA transformer from Gerdau Steel in Whitby and replacing it with one. And then one of my favorites is the picture in the bottom right there. Those are 7 massive transformers on the side of the Otto Holden generating station just outside of Ottawa. We had to take apart and fully rebuild those transformers in place for OPG. That was a really, really cool job. This is another video. So this one has sound to it. Some of you might giggle to the sound. But this is called Old School DS. This is part of Hydro One's new distribution substation program where they have about 300 of these across the province that they're looking to be replaced. This is the second that we've done. They've only ever released 2 well, they've done 3 now, and we've done all 3. And again, Hydro One's been very happy, and again, we've collaborated with Arjun's team to do commissioning here. So go ahead and play that video. So that project was, you can go next slide. I feel like I should be tossing t-shirts or something. More hot dogs. Do you want to go to the next slide? So that project there was a PC model, they call it. So the engineering was designed, it was provided to us. We went out and procured all the equipment and materials for that job. And again, it was a very successful project, besides the excavator getting stolen, which wasn't ours, so that was good. So 4209, special projects. We can self-perform projects of any size, handling multiple critical phases internally rather than outsourcing. It improves control quality, schedule adherence, and cost efficiencies. We partner with other many divisions within Sauer to ensure work stays within Black & McDonald and is done safely to the quality we expect. So electrical works, we self-perform equipment installs, grounding, steel erecting, bus structures, HV and LV cable pulling and terminating, riser poles that are connected to substations and overhead switches. We also self-perform our civil work, so self-performing excavating, foundation pouring, ground grid installations, fencing, and eliminates a reliance on third-party civil contractors. The prefabricated buildings, so we do these at various sizes, and again, working collaboratively with Arjun. Design and engineering, so we have this bolt-on with Arjun and Ryan's group as well, so What really brings value to this piece is you have independent engineering firms out there that have no idea how to actually install or build a substation. Our group knows how to do it. So when Arjun's group is doing a design and they pass the design over to us for constructability reviews, we can find deficiencies and we can find problems in the engineering stage that wouldn't necessarily be found if it's just an engineering firm pumping out a set of drawings. And then last but not least, the testing and commissioning in-house, again, bolting on with Ryan and Arjun's group. So if there is some defects, if there are deficiencies that are found during the post-construction, our team will go in and make those rectifications before we hand it over to the customer. Okay, this is the Walker Bez station. So this is actually a 28 kV connected battery storage facility site in Windsor. This was part of the IESO's battery or emergency, what is it called? ELT1. I can't remember what the acronym stands for. Expedited long-term renewables. The IESO is the Independent Electrical Safety Operator. So basically what happens is the batteries, they're Tesla batteries, they're about the size of a tractor trailer, will charge in off-peak hours and then discharge back onto the grid on on-peak hours. We were the very first contracting company to build one and get it grid scale connected in Ontario. So it was a huge accomplishment by us. Again, this particular project was a full EPC model, so we procured everything. We did all the engineering. The only thing we didn't procure were the Tesla batteries. They were free issued to us by our client. Moving on to Almont 1 and 2, these are 44 kV grid connected projects which fall under that same procurement model. So you can see the delineation between the right and the left side there. Again, these were full EPC projects by 4209. Again, everything was self-performed in-house, including the civil work. Here, this site sat on bedrock. So what we did actually is instead of forming and pouring foundations for the megapacks to sit on, we came up with a precast block method that the megapacks would sit on. So we could precast and build all the blocks off site before getting to site because our client didn't have municipal approval for us to start in time. So the way we came up by expediting it was precast building all of these off site. So as soon as we got to site, we were able to scrape the topsoil back, pack down a layer of granular B, and then place these precast blocks right on, and then away we went with the megapacks. We saved about 6 weeks there. This is Stelco. So this is a steel plant out in Nanticoke. So they built a large cogeneration site on their site. There's a plant right next door to them called Air Products. Air Products feeds them various gases for their process, so Stelco can make steel. What was happening was the Hydro 1 line going into Air Products was very unreliable and kept tripping out, meaning it would take Stelco offline. So Stelco got the idea to build a cogen, and they hired Black McDonald to build the substation that would take the power from the cogen over to Air Products. So this was the site that we built. There's 2 transformers there, and again, this was done on a full EPC model. Okay, this is one that we're approaching completion here. So this is called the Antoine Transformer Station. This one's just outside of North Bay. This is a massive footprint station, about 400 meters by 400 meters. There's 2 very large 230 kV to 115 kV, 125 MVA power transformers that are there. So again, Black McDonald is self-performing all of this work. The building you see in the top there, that was done under a EPC model. So essentially the brain of the substation is going to go into that building. All of the protection and control panels and relays and everything that'll control this substation are just going to go into that building. And we did the design of that building and we constructed it. This project is being led by Alec Davis right now. And again, we're very close to nearing completion. We're already starting to battle some snow and ice up there already, so we're in good shape. Okay, so on the Toronto Hydro portfolio, I'll hand it back to Mike, and he can run through a couple, 2 or 3 projects on that, and then I'll finish off.
Thanks. So Toronto Hydro, this is our golden goose, for lack of better terms. They just keep giving us work, and they're super happy. So most of the projects that we do with Toronto Hydro are involved in the construction side, and it's the new substation retrofit, also some capital work and some minor trouble response. We've teamed up with Arjun and Ryan's group at 4205 with them, and it's been a great relationship with Toronto Hydro. They basically just hand us the green folders. We also work with our lines department with Taryn's group with 4201, and then Tara helps out with a lot of the switching and the outages for the substations. Major projects that we did this year was Blackfriar MS, so that was a full station rebuild, which is that picture there. So a brand new transformer, duct bank, switchgear out to the road and primary incoming, and we are about 6 weeks ahead of schedule. So funny story with this station here is this is now the poster child for all new substation builds with Toronto Hydro. Shout out to Mark Harris with that. Toronto Hydro actually brings the other contractors to the site to show them how it's done. So quite proud of that project. There's also Finch TS, Bathurst, and Fairchild. The line department knows these projects very well. They help support us. They gave us 55 switches to do by the end of the year. The main challenge was time. They gave us only an 18-day outage to do 13 and 12 switches for totaling towards the end of the year for 55, like I mentioned. And Minecore is the supplier of those switches. One highlight there is that Minecore actually gave an extended warranty if Black & Mac is the installer to Toronto Hydro because they certify our quality of work. So that sets us apart from all of our competitors. So they basically hand us these switches. They haven't been fun, I'll be honest. We've had to do custom switches for most of these installs. But based on our skill and our field staff, that they deliver always under schedule and under budget. And another shout out to Arjun as well for the support there on the engineering side and the Toronto Hydro admin side. We also are getting into a lot of PCB oil refurbishment on major assets in the GTA. So a lot of the transformers, they have this big blitz right now to drain the oil and replenish it. That's going to be a fruitful venture because they come in weekly asking us for to go do these challenging removals, and it opens up work for transformer replacement, switchgear breaker replacement, and it's like an onion. It just keeps growing. We just started Wiltshire TS, which is a full station demolition. We just started there this week, so that's basically a full TS demo for a rebuild for their new equipment that's coming in. So currently working with, again, Arjun's group for all the P&C and controls and removals, and the asbestos transformer and switchgear. So that should carry us into Christmas for our GTA crew. And lastly, Bermondsey TS, which is quite a substantial project. That one there is a bus extension for Hydro One. There's 2 major bays going in for the Metrolinx projects. So that one's totaling 15 switches, 4 circuit breakers, and all the LV that goes into their e-house. So that'll be about 12 weeks for 12 guys. And we were basically handed that job based on our performance the last 2 years. So we are quite proud of that one. Here's some photos here with our switch projects. Again, shout out to Evan, Andrew from the line division with help supporting us through these projects and getting us over the finish line. As you can tell, it's pretty busy in there, right? So that, if you can see, I don't know who's got the laser, but All that whole lineup is all the brand new switches we put in. So there is a ton of work that goes into getting, a proper safe work zone, outages, all the feeders that are involved with this area. And I think we absolutely hit it out of the park with these projects. So again, hats off and thanks to our line division also with the support and the collaboration there. And yeah, so in the middle, that one there is Bathurst, and then the far right as well. So that's a feeder tie switch for those that you don't know in the room. It's basically opening and closing these feeders that feed the city. Very important equipment, and great job that we did there. So like I said, Toronto Hydro is probably our best client, selfishly, because I deal with them daily, and we're very thankful for the support and collaboration from, again, 4205, 4201, the line division there, and field services. So saying that, I'll pass it back to Jay.
Oh, yeah, we can both do it. Okay. So this one is Kavanaugh TS. It's one of the most critical stations for Toronto Hydro. Terran's group, your grid response office is right behind it. So basically in the summer of 2024, Toronto Hydro was experiencing a lot of outages at this station because of the bus ducts that connected the transformers to the switchgear inside. They called us and we were there the next day basically. And we did a 3D scan of the existing bus ducts that were there and came up with the solution to rip out all the bus ducts and install, how much cable? Like 3,000 meters? Yeah. It was 3,000 meters, so each transformer had 2 secondary windings, so we had 9 cables per phase of 28 kV, 1,000 copper, so quite big stuff. We designed all the trapeze system for the cable tray itself to support the weight of the cable and snow weight and everything like that. We were in and out in about 6 weeks complete, and we had to build transition boxes, we had to build custom connectors and everything like that. So this really kind of kicked off Toronto Hydro's mentality of using Black & McDonald as more of a design build contractor, because again, seeing that the design could be done in our engineering group and the engineering group could talk to people like Mike and myself and my team and get the insight of how to actually properly construct something like this. I think it's pretty much done. So just a quick mention on our clients. So we pretty much cover almost all major utilities across the province. The two in the bottom corner there, major power developers. So that is a new thing with, the wind and solar and the battery technology starting to come out. So all of that is going to be a big business for us and Black & McDonald in the next anywhere from 5 to 10 years. I know I never want to climb a wind tower again, but and then major power consumers. So as you know and see on the news, a lot of manufacturing is coming back to the GTA and Ontario. So plants like Volkswagen, Vianode, and a lot of these different facilities are going to need large substations and going to need to be maintained. So why B&M? So that top right photo is a small little distribution station we finished for Westario Power just this year. So we have experienced EPC teams delivering safe, high quality projects on schedule. The design team with field experience ensures constructability and cost efficiency, so something I've talked about a few times. We have a large skilled workforce with expertise across all disciplines. So this one is critical because we can pull within the Southern Ontario region from different divisions. I know Anthony has supported me with manpower before, and we've shared people back and forth and whatnot. So it's a very collaborative effort there. Vertically integrated approach. So again, we like to self-perform everything. Civil works, prefabricated buildings, electrical install and commissioning. We have a very good proven track record. Our name is well known in the industry. up to 500 kV. Integrated procurement. So this is a big one too when it comes to procurement. We don't have to go through distributors. We don't have to go through middlemen. We can generally go direct to the manufacturer of the equipment, meaning we get the best possible price, making our ultimate price and bid submission to the client a little bit more attractive. And again, we can also work directly with the vendor to make sure that the equipment is going to come on schedule. Yeah. So yeah, oh, there you go. Again, safety and leadership. So Mike talked a lot about our safety piece. So great job to the 4209 people who are here. And we're very flexible. So when clients come to us and ask us, because a lot of these clients don't necessarily know what model they want to follow, like we'll help kind of direct them into the way that we think would be the best fit for them, but ultimately it's the best fit for us and how we can be the most successful. And again, we really do work on building our relationships with our clientele. Having really strong relationships really can put us head and shoulders above the competition. So that's all I've got, everyone. So thank you for listening and have a good weekend.
I'm just going to give Deb a minute here to switch back over presentations, but I think that was a great presentation, really highlighting all the unique capabilities of not only 4209, but all of the divisions within Black & McDonald. You know, it's great to really see what we could accomplish when we all work together. So again, thank you, Mike. Thank you, Jason, for the presentation. And I guess while we're waiting for the slides to get back up, why don't we start by giving a round of applause for all the presenters so far today. It's definitely never easy getting up here speaking in front of a large group of people like yourselves. Pretty sure it was about 7 or 8 years ago I was standing right here doing my first presentation as a division manager, and I think I blacked out for the first 5 minutes. So it's getting a little easier here after all the years, but you know, nobody likes coming up here, and nobody wants to be standing in front and, well, picturing everybody naked trying to stay focused. Just waiting for Deb to get this up, but I'll keep going here. Too much? TMI? I can't tell if it's the seating here versus the other place, but it definitely looks like our group's a little smaller than last time. So I don't know if it's the time of year, if it's vacation, or we have too many of Mark D's guys on night shift, but hopefully we can see a good group of this at the Christmas party on Saturday as well. You know, I know I started off earlier this afternoon talking about the successful close of the fiscal year, but as you saw from Wes's presentation that we reviewed, we have a lot of room for improvement when it comes to safety. The fact that we had 3 modified duties, 7 medical aids, and 19 first aids means that 29 men or women went home in worse shape than they showed up to work this year, and I think everyone in this room can agree that that's unacceptable. While we may have been very successful in many other aspects of the year, we failed when it comes to keeping ourselves and others safe. So ultimately, as we get started and start focusing on the new fiscal year and wind down into the holiday season, I need everybody here to really focus and stay alert, eliminate or mitigate hazards in the workplace, and look out for one another. Ultimately, the goal here is that everybody can celebrate a safe and happy holiday season with all 10 fingers and 10 toes. Sorry, I'm going to grab the clicker here. Sorry, I was just getting distracted. But again, it takes each and every one of us from the top down to make a difference, buy into the safety culture, and ensure we don't make the same mistakes going forward. So let's keep that in mind as we move into the next fiscal year. So with safety in mind, I want to take a quick glimpse at the past year and a look to the future here. And sorry, I don't have any slides that are speaking to this. I'll get to the next ones. Just to give you some idea of the magnitude of the last year, the region, so all the divisions in this room here, executed roughly $350 million in projects or MSA work, not including Interra this year, which also included, as Wes alluded to, a little over 1.15 million people hours worked, and a TRIR of 1.73. And I mean, with the exception of our goal of 0 safety incidents, obviously, this is overall an incredible feat by everyone in this room, and hopefully there's a few people online joining us too. that being said, when we look into the future, we currently have a backlog, including some of our current long-term contracts, of roughly $450 million in Southern Ontario utility region, and another $250 million in backlog if you add Intera as well. So definitely a mind-boggling amount for the region. So, we talked about very similar numbers last year. I think we're slightly ahead when it comes to backlog than we last year, but just our backlog alone shows that has stayed steady throughout the last year, which means even though we've executed roughly $350 million in work this year, we've also continued to build the backlog for the future years. So that's a kudos to all the teams out there who spend all their days and nights doing estimating and focusing on winning work for everybody. So those of you in this room have some tangible job sites to go to going forward. Some of the recent awards that I'm going to share on the screen here in a minute are included in the backlog numbers I spoke about, but others are going to be in addition to the current backlog that haven't been realized as of yet. If this clicker would work, I'd run you guys through a few of the projects. Hey Deb, can you move to the next slide for me? Or Mike? See, it's not just Wes. All right, pressure's on, Mike. We'll just do what Wes does and just click the buttons a lot until something happens. I reviewed my presentation. I don't think I have one curse word in here, so. Perfect. Okay. So this is slide 1 of 2 as far as some recent wins and updates since we had the last semi-annual. I can't remember. I think it was April or May here. But some work that everybody in this room is working on right now. So Town of Whitby, Columbus Road. That's a $1.6 million overhead line job that we're doing for the Town of Whitby, which is ultimately going to end up being Alexicon infrastructure. We've had another roughly $1.25 million in Electra West work for the overhead line group. Also adding another roughly $300K in PCB transformer testing through grid response using a method that we can do the PCB testing live, which sets us apart from our other contractors. Town of Newmarket, this is a joint line and civil project. That's a 44 kV replacement, roughly a little over $500,000. A new job again, joint line and civil for Electra Central Cottrell Avenue. North Bay Aberdeen pole replacement for about $330K. And another civil and line project for BTFA Don Mills enhancement for $1.5 million. We stopped putting in numbers here, so I don't know some of the dollar values, but we've also got a 75 megawatt Edgeware BESS project. That's another EPC similar to a few of the projects that Jason showcased here earlier. A great win for our design team doing the design of the SCADA system for the ISO Clarkson facility. A 3-year MSA that we recently were awarded, actually I think it was just last week or the week before, for Alexicon Energy. So that's electrical station design, which is really a great MSA for us to grab. It secures some more long-term engineering for Argent, but it's also going to secure more EPC and design build work for Black & McDonald as a whole. So hoping we can leverage that into the design build model when it comes to civil underground that Joe does. He does quite a bit of work for Alexicon, as well as our overhead lines group. Also a similar MSA, and I think Jay touched on this one, but a 5-year MSA for station electrical design for Toronto Hydro. There's a duplicate there with Town of Whitby, so ignore that. But that 5-year MSA for Toronto Hydro is really going to be a new segue into design build for them. We've been doing a lot of design only procure and construct or simply construct for Hydro for many years, since 2007 I think. But really getting into the design build again, that's where it's going to set us apart from our competition and allow us to really grow. And last but not least, something we bolted on or added on to our metering department there is we've started getting a little bit of metering support for Electra, which we're hoping will lead into some future work for them especially. Getting into some more of the major transportation and infrastructure projects. City of Toronto capital roster project, so that was roughly 15 separate tenders coming up to about a total of $3 million. We've got the York Region widening and reconstruction of 19th Avenue, that's a little over $1 million. TTC conversion of SRT ROW to busway. I don't know what those acronyms are, but I'm sure somebody in this room does. City of Guelph College Avenue infrastructure movements. City of Toronto Steeles Avenue Bridge and Dundas Avenue Bridge for $1.5 million. Peel Region Williams Parkway water main, that's $1.5 million. MTO CCTV cameras at various locations, $2.5 million. Halton Hills road resurfacing for $1.5 million. This is getting to be a long list. MTO 2024 to 2062, is that right? Variable message signs at 406, 405, and QEW. If it's just 2062, I'll be long retired. That's 315. City of Toronto signed maintenance contract for another 2 years for ITS, which is a great win, for $6 million. And total fiscal year for transportation infrastructure was $45.1 million in added net new jobs. Sorry, I'm going to take a drink. I can see Joe and Afra chatting over there, so either something's wrong in the slide or there's more work to be won. Is it actually a 40-year contract? Yeah, that's what I said, yeah. 2062, Joe will be retired, and I'll be shortly behind him. So, now aside from the new awards I just went through, one thing that I think is important to note is what's not included in those backlog numbers. I would say in my 18 years here at B&M, I don't think I've seen so much work come through for estimating in such a short period of time. I think if you talk to any of the estimating groups, we're stretched beyond thin. The hundreds of millions into the billions of dollars that we've estimated in the last 12 months is something we've never seen, and I'm sure somebody like Joe can attest to that because he's been here for nearly 40 years. You know, we have hundreds of millions in estimates that are pending decisions, like Lakeshore TS and several Mississauga stations for Hydro One, potentially some more broadband work for overhead lines, some major infrastructure projects that are currently being bid or will be in the near future, like GTA Accelerator, Hamilton LRT, Jane Street BRT, Garden City Skyway, Highway 413, and many more. And some of these of which we're sure to be successful on to continue to build our portfolio well into the future. So, long-winded way of saying, needless to say, with almost $700 million in backlog, and surely more awards to come, there's no shortage of work for any of the divisions in this room today. And again, a big shout out to the estimators. It's not easy work, being overloaded, working long days over weekends to try and get these in. So. If we can't estimate the work, we can't win the work, and that means there's no work to construct. So I think it's an area that we don't always highlight, but again, it's just a crazy amount, and it's nonstop. So I don't think Harv or any of the other estimators in this room are going to have a chance to breathe anytime soon. So, you know, the future looks bright, and I just want to reiterate a heartfelt thank you to everyone in the region who continues to contribute to the future success of the company. I think the McDonald's, and I agree myself, don't have a company without the people, and our success is dependent on each and every one in this room. So again, thank you, and give yourself a round of applause. All right, it's 2:54. I got to kill an hour here until I let you guys go. Well, I got a little monologue I can do here for Wes. So, you know, it seems like every time I get up here lately and to do one of these things, I'm having to say goodbye to a colleague who I've had the pleasure of working with for most of my career. When I got up here last year, it was Chuck Mossman, who was a 10-year Black and Mac vet who retired as our RVP. This year, I've got the pleasure of wishing a happy retirement to someone who I've worked with alongside for 18 years and who's been a part of the company for more than 23 years. And if that 23 years is wrong, we can blame HR Bamboo for the misinformation, as I often do. This individual has helped shape the safety culture of Southern Ontario region as a whole, including electrical and mechanical, throughout his illustrious career, and has been a personal mentor to many people in this room today, myself included. This individual is not one for accolades and definitely isn't one for the spotlight, so he's probably going to call me an asshole when I leave here today. There's my first curse word. However, someone who has contributed as much as he has over the years can't quietly slip out the back door without us expressing our gratitude. So while his official retirement date isn't until January 31st, 26, I obviously chose today to announce it because this might be the last opportunity for some of you in this room to wish him a farewell, shake his hand before he starts putting his feet up at the cottage. So Without further ado, please join me in thanking and congratulating our very own Wes Pag on a happy and healthy retirement. I could force him to make a speech here. I'm not going to put him on the spot. If he wants to say a few words, I'll...
Not really, I don't want to. I've already said enough for one day, but thanks for the surprise announcement. I wasn't sure who you were talking about when you said somebody was retiring, so I was hoping it was somebody else we were going to recognize, but very kind of you to stand up and give me a standing ovation. Certainly appreciate it. You know, I started out as going to school to be an accountant, ended up being an electrician, which I think was probably the best thing I ever did. But when I came here to Black & McDonald, my wife found the job that I have was in the Toronto Star. I was looking for a change, and they took a chance on me, and at that time it was just myself, and some of you might remember Ron Clark. Much smaller group then. I knew everybody in both regions. Everybody worked everywhere. Now it's, you know, again, seeing everybody and all the new faces, it's just a completely changed company. So it certainly served me well. Black & McDonald's treated me great. The McDonald's, great family to work for. To be a company of this magnitude and family owned and operated, it's incredible. And when we go out to clients, it still amazes them as well. So, you know, everybody's future is bright. I hope my future is bright. I hope my expiry date is quite extended, and as Steve alludes to, hopefully I'll get to spend lots of time in my cottage. If I can convince my wife to go up there, we'll be all right. But that's it. I appreciate everybody. Thank you.
Thanks again for everything, Wes, and sorry to put you on the spot there. I'm sure I'll hear about this after, but you know, it won't be long, and I'm sure I'll be able to enjoy a refreshing Bud Light or two on your dock with you, or a latte, whatever you prefer these days. So I'm sure Wes will be happy to stay behind afterwards, sign autographs, give him a pat on the back, shake his hand, but if you're not going to get a chance to see him before he does retire, now's your time, so he's going to have to stick around a little longer. But that being said, changing notes here. We're a little ahead of schedule, so I'm hesitant to keep going, but we've got a couple more things to do here before we go. Next one is going to be the raffle, so I'll get Jay to come up and help me pull the numbers for the raffle tickets. Sorry, TBD, we're figuring out prizes. Okay, I'm just going to keep pulling until Deb tells me not to. If you can read your numbers and get up here quickly, I think we have roughly 16 to get through here. So we're going to start with 939787. 939787. Who's got it? Who's got it? All right. Yeah, give me the envelope. We'll trust him. You got to verify numbers. Did anybody actually come up for that? Okay. Go see Joe too, but there's an envelope down here. Next number is 461744. So every person who wins is going to see us and then go see Joe.
They see.
I don't know.
No.
No, they're separate.
They're separate.
Either come here or go up there.
461744. Next up, 461796. 461796. Rena wants us to audit this process. She's coming to check numbers. See, unlike you, I've got a lot of trust in the faith, or a lot of faith in the trust of everybody here. Everybody's very honest. 461802. 461802. Give him one. Thank you very much. We trust you.
This is the last envelope, so everyone's got to have that.
We got a couple of these here too. I need another ticket. Oh, there you go. Thank you very much. Next number here, 939755. 939755. We'll send them up to you too, Joey.
We've got 2 more down.
Yeah. You have these two? Okay. Give him one of those. Okay, one more for down here, 939792. Is that the one you just pulled? 939792. Okay, I'm gonna speed round through these, and they're all going up to Joe. Okay, Joey's coming down. Okay, 939790. Getting a lot out of the same run here. 939790. Save one of those for me, Joe. Okay, 939734. Oh, we got some people who slipped out the back door if there's no winners. Keep pulling them. 939734. 939734. Okay, so we just have we got some slow winners. 939745. Are you just picking everyone off the same reel? 939745. There you go. Thanks, buddy. There you go, Lawrence. Okay. 461771. We trust you. Now we just got to make sure I don't call more than I've got. Joey's got another box full. I can't keep track. 461. All right, we got a new roll here. 461729. 461729. Going once, going twice, sold. Oh, just keep coming up. 461731. 461731. All right, there we go. Metering coming in hot. 939728. And I'd also like to mention that these lunch boxes are compliments of Joe Sagna and the Civil Group. 939728.
There you go, Shelley.
How you doing, bud? How many do we have left? 461758.
There's 6 left.
461758. Just don't give me more than I have. Yep, we got another winner. 5 more.
5.
Okay, 939805. Rena's trying to cheat the system here. Are you cheating?
No. They're all everything.
939748. 939748. A lot of those ones. Okay. I don't know. 939748. Told you we're checking timesheets. 939721. 721. There we go. Somebody's in attendance. 461733. 461733. Emily didn't want to come up and get hers. Emily's too shy. All right, I'll call her out anyways. 3 left? Okay. We believe you. 461736. 461736. There we go. 2 more. Okay. 939788. 939788. Is that Wes? Wes a winner? He's wandering around there like he's got one. Maybe we just give one to Wes anyways. He's retiring. It's the least we could do.
2 more.
939-744. 939, there we go. 939-744 is coming up. And last but not least, as long as I haven't called too many numbers.
I like how three guys from my division have won.
Rigged. We got one more? Okay. 939-794. 794. Oh, wow. Okay. This is a very lopsided draw today. Okay, that's all the draw prizes. Look, the invite said until 4 o'clock, so what do you guys want to do for 54 minutes? Yeah? Put on an episode of Breaking Bad? I don't know. Hey, I didn't say leave. Give me a second here. Jesus. Okay, before everybody starts running for the door, because I know you're anxious to get the weekend going, or at least get your Thursday going, I just want to make sure I give a special thanks to Deborah Bambick. She's the... She's the one who puts in a lot of effort into coordinating these things on top of all the other responsibilities she has at this time of year. So it's not easy on her, and she was working late last night getting the presentation done. So I want to make sure we give her a round of applause. So let's give her one more. Again, a special thank you to the host division, Special Projects High Voltage, Jason, Michael, everybody else who helped with the presentation. And again, to any of the other volunteers who I haven't noted, I did see Cash and a couple others at the front door there. So again, thank you to everybody. These things aren't easy to put together. It takes a lot of effort. So I hope you can all appreciate it, even though I think 10% of you have already run for the door. Anyways, again, we've got an exciting year ahead. Fiscal 25 is behind us. Fiscal 26 is ahead. Let's just make sure that we go into the holiday season here. Have a safe Christmas. If I don't see you on Saturday and I don't see you before the holidays, happy holidays. Have a safe weekend and take care, everybody. Thank you.